We're here with Greg King, CEO and founder of Osprey Funds, and we're going to be talking about a rising altcoin, Polkadot. It is now ranked 8th in terms of market cap, behind all the other coins that we do know about. We're going to be talking about Polkadot's applications, its history, and why you, Greg, have created a fund based on this coin. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Great to be here, David.
So Polkadot, since its inception, since being traded in September of last year, it's gone up 1,200%, and it's currently trading at $41 a coin. So walk us through the applications of this coin and why it's risen all the way to, well, at one point it was 4th in terms of market cap, and now it's 8th. It's not because it's fallen in market cap, it's because things like Dogecoin have surpassed it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Tell us a little bit about Polkadot.
Well, Polkadot is we think, an amazing up-and-coming crypto platform. What Polkadot really does is it tries to envision a world where there are multiple blockchains, which we obviously already have, but a world in which those are connected and can speak to each other. So the Polkadot ecosystem was actually brought about by Gavin Wood and a couple of partners. Gavin Wood is previously one of the guys who basically built out Ethereum, which everybody's talking about today because of the applications coming on to the Ethereum platform, like DeFi, like NFTs. But with Polkadot, they try to take that, or are trying to take that one step further. So we really like the project. We love its potential. We love the hot pink marketing side of things. It seems like Polkadot is really pursuing a grand vision, and it's just getting started. So that's what made it attractive for us as part of our product offering.
So it's a network protocol, if I understand correctly. You can transfer data across Polkadot.
It is. Well, what it's doing is it's setting up a system whereby up to 100 separate blockchains at a time can essentially park themselves in the Polkadot ecosystem. And then the way it's set up is sort of in an umbrella capacity, where those chains are then able to talk to each other. So you could have totally unrelated blockchains, take, for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum, both kind of built into the Polkadot system after the fact and communicating with each other, executing contracts on Ethereum, payments in Bitcoin, things along those lines, and applications that we haven't even understood yet. That part of it hasn't started yet. So we don't even know all the chains that will be built into the Polkadot ecosystem over time. But it's the idea, it's the platform that they're building and the minds that are involved that we think is so compelling. And to your point earlier, it's already the 8th, 9th, depending on the day, biggest blockchain in the world at about $40 billion.
Okay, so break it down to us in layman terms, how the layman can observe Polkadot's application in everyday crypto and blockchain usage.
Sure. Well, for the everyday layman, it's going to be a little tricky to observe. There are, like this whole crypto ecosystem, there are folks on Twitter that put out information. The Web3 Foundation is great. They're sort of behind Polkadot. And to take a step back, that is the point, or the purpose, I should say, of Polkadot. The way that they explain it, I mean, you could tell from the name, Web3 Foundation, what they're trying to do ultimately is enable what they call Web 3.0. I like to call it a decentralized web, right? A decentralized internet. I think that conveys the point a little bit better. The idea is, I'm sure you've heard people talk about, the middlemen of the internet, whether it's Amazon or Google or Facebook, being eventually disintermediated by decentralized protocols and applications that don't have that, kind of returning power to the users. That is the ultimate goal of the Polkadot ecosystem. So the purpose for getting chains to speak to each other is really to decentralize the internet.
Decentralize the internet. Can you explain what that means? What is it? Is it currently not decentralized? How does the term decentralized apply to the internet? Yeah.
So the concept is, if you and I go online, chances are we're doing something with Google, we're doing something with Amazon, we're doing something with Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's where a vast majority of internet traffic goes. The data associated with that the products associated with that are all centralized. They're controlled by those corporations, right? Whereas in a decentralized internet situation, you would have consumers consuming, whether it's information, data, or products, in a way that their information is kept under their own ownership rather than centralized with a certain company who kind of owns all that traffic. So we see the applications all over the place, whether it's, it would enable less censorship. With the last election, we saw a lot of, views on both sides around censorship issues. Those kinds of things would be enabled by a decentralized internet or facilitated. Ownership of people's data. And, when you're talking about going kite surfing, and then all of a sudden your phone is showing you, kite surfing ads or whatever, all that is because data is flowing through to a centralized place, being manipulated and spit back out. And that benefits those centralized parties, and that goes to profit them rather than the users who are enabling, that to even happen.
Let's talk about its price increase since last year. It's gone up from about $4 to all the way to $41 today, as we're speaking on Friday.
Yeah.
A lot of this, I presume, was due to the overall increase in the crypto space starting this January. But even then, before then, Bitcoin was on a tear all throughout the second half of 2020, while Polkadot was just launched, and it was kind of flat all the way until January. So what happened after January? Did it start to get picked up by more mainstream investors? Was the protocol being used in a wide array of applications, you think? Tell us a story there.
Well, I think it's a combination of factors. I mean, Polkadot, the ecosystem's getting built out. There's the parachain auctions are starting soon on Kusama, their testnet. But really, I think the bigger picture is Bitcoin broke its previous all-time high around Thanksgiving. That sort of, I think, was a clear signal that we're into a new bull market. Similar to the last time, Bitcoin takes the leadership position, then tends to kind of fade a little bit, and we go into what they call alt season, right? And so then it's about what are the other coins that might benefit. We're seeing Ethereum really take off, and there's probably more room to go there. But I think that the benefit of this rally is that it's bringing to light real projects that have potential real world problems that they're going to be solving in the not too distant future. I think last time around 2017, we just saw all kinds of ICOs, really, and these were just essentially white papers. But you have several years under the belt at this point. Real protocols have been built, real teams, a lot of brain power going into this. Yeah. And so I think this rally is a much more sustainable one, at least in the top 20 coins.
That's a good point. Are we still in alt season, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like in full tilt. And I don't see it. There's going to be breathers in the market. The market's going to have corrections and things, but I don't think we're through with alt season yet.
You have a fund based on Bitcoin. We talked about that last time you were on the show, and now you're launching another fund based on Polkadot. So tell us about your strategy, your overall strategy here. Are you trying to diversify across coins? I would, when I first talked to you, I would presume you focus more on the larger cap cryptocurrencies, but it seems you're moving down the value chain into the alts as well. Tell us about your strategy.
Yeah, well, when you start with the biggest, there's you're only going to go downwards in terms of size. But we're excited about the process of researching potential new coins or existing coins as targets for new products. And so that's how we came to believe and understand Polkadot. We do have a lot more product kind of coming down the pike. And in each case, we feel that these are projects that we at least have done our homework on, believe in. Mm-hmm. We believe they have somewhat of a future. Not all of them will work out. But our goal is to create products that investors can benefit from, that they can ultimately access via ticker symbol. We hope to get these listed on the OTCQX market. And that way, sort of broaden the reach that investors have in terms of being able to access these returns, because a lot of us have our, the bulk of our funds in brokerage accounts and IRAs, and it's real difficult to access cryptos directly that way. So we take the cryptos, put them into a Delaware statutory grantor trust, and put them out there as a security that's able to be purchased by accredited investors from us. And then ultimately, if they do achieve the listing, they trade in the secondary market, and then it's a much broader reach for most investors.
So if I were to purchase your fund, I'm purchasing an index tracking Polkadot, or how do the mechanics work?
Yeah, these are one. If you think about the analogy to stocks, right? This is like a one stock fund, right? And that shows you how early it is in crypto days, right? Because there really isn't broad-based funds that are out there that
Why don't
are
you
able
create
to be
one, Greg?
listed.
That sounds like a great idea.
Well, so others have created. There's one index fund out there. The challenge is it's a little early to index the space. If you take market cap weighting and just put it onto crypto, it doesn't necessarily work out the way you're looking for. There's tax issues. Coins pop into the top 10, for example. You'll find coins in the top 10 that aren't in top 10 indices. Because maybe they trade mostly offshore and things like that. So it's a bit early to formally index the space. I think you could see something from us that is multi-coin, but it's more likely to be an active strategy than an index strategy. But we are researching it. Right now, it's simply about access. People want access to coins that are good projects, and they want it in a convenient way. So that's what we're trying to do.
You probably get asked this all the time, but suppose I were a retail investor. Well, why can't I, if there's only one coin per fund, why can't I just buy the coin directly? What are the benefits of buying your fund?
No, you absolutely can. And it's sort of like gold. Gold's a perfect analogy. It's sort of like, why would I need to buy the gold ETF when I can just buy gold, coins? And the answer is you don't. But different things appeal to different people for different reasons.
Sure.
Certain people have constraints. They may have some cash, some investable assets lying around that they want to go buy gold coins. But in their IRA, their savings, they're not going to pull money out and go wire it out and go buy gold coins. It's the same thing with crypto, really. Okay. People have crypto physically. That's fine. We have no problem with that. I do. But we're trying to create a convenient structure for folks who want to keep their money in the system, right? In their brokerage accounts, in their IRAs, maybe have their fiduciary still oversee it as part of an asset allocation strategy so that they can, help right-size the investment, help control for the volatility of the overall portfolio, that kind of thing.
Do you think that with people like Gary Gensler who are pro-Bitcoin coming into government, Gensler, of course, is the head of the SEC now, there will be more friendly regulations regarding crypto ETFs? And going back to the indexing issue that we talked about, do you think the regulatory environment will be more permissive for indexing of cryptos?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. You're the first person I've heard call Gary Gensler pro-Bitcoin.
Compared to the last guy. It's all relative compared to the last guy.
All right. That's fair. But I would say that he is educated. He's very conversant. Taught a class at MIT about crypto, so the guy knows his stuff. As to how he's going to decide to regulate, my only bet is he's going to do something. Right? I think the space absolutely needs more clarity. I think he's going to do something. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And I wouldn't say it's a slam dunk that all of a sudden a bunch of Bitcoin ETFs are going to be approved. No, I don't think that's the case. Certainly not this year. That's my opinion.
You said there's a lot of new products in your pipeline. Is a Dogecoin fund one of them?
Oh boy, you had to go there.
I did.
We talk about listening. We talk about listening to clients and responding to to what they're asking for. I mean, the number of people asking for a Doge. Yeah, we're thinking about it. If Elon Musk joins the team, then yes, we'll launch a Dogecoin fund.
Let's back up. Well, Elon Musk, if you're watching this now, please consider Greg King's offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrific
Give me a
fund,
call.
terrific guy, you know. Look, let's back up a second here. Why are people calling for a Dogecoin fund? I mean, if you go back to our Polkadot discussion, there are many applications and real world uses for Polkadot. There are benefits to the network that Polkadot can offer. What does Dogecoin bring to the crypto space? And why?
Well, have you seen the dog? The little dog.
It
He's
just
very
makes me
cute.
want to
I
adopt
think,
the dog. It doesn't make me want to buy coins.
I don't claim to understand everything, David,
Okay.
in terms of how markets work. I think, Dogecoin, from a technical perspective, is not terrible. It's basically a variant of Bitcoin. The fact that it got started as a joke kind of makes you wonder, what's the point? But it also, I guess, in a very kind of academic way, if you think about it, illustrates the ephemeral nature of money, of currency, right?
Right.
Whatever we agree on, if it's rocks or buttons or tulips, as has value. And if we all agree, then it has value, and we can interchange it, and so on and so forth. That's kind of what's happening with Dogecoin. I think it's people call it a meme coin. It's being bought up in. I mean, my kids are teenagers. They ask me about Dogecoin. So, they also asked me about, what was it? GameStop. So, you want to build products that people want. We're conflicted about that one, but we are looking at it because everyone asks.
All right. Your kids are teenagers. You don't look a day over 35, Greg.
Thank you, my friend. You're off by a decade and change, but I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I appreciate your message today to educate us about Polkadot and your fund. And please keep us updated. If you have a new fund in the pipeline, we'll be happy to talk about it. Thank you very much for coming on.
Will do. Thanks, David.
And thank you for watching. I'm David Lin.